This podcast episode is another excerpt from the recent Cycles 2.0 3-day event that I ran. And this time we explored your relationship with money and energy. If you want to continue listening to the rest of the event, you can head to the show notes, register for the replays, and access them there. So let's move on to talking about money relationship. And I speak about this in a very different light, okay? So you are in relationship with everything. We can think of being in relationship with people, our family, strangers around us, but you're in relationship with time, you're also in relationship with money. So I want you to imagine that money is a person in your life and that it is a friend. And how would it feel if it heard you speak about it? Okay. If Jane went and told Money, my friend, what I say about it, would I feel good? Or would I feel like I need to backtrack and over explain myself? Right? If Julie was to tell Mary's Money what Mary says about it, would Mary feel good about how she talks about money? Would her friend feel good about how Mary talks about it? Okay. So think about money as a person or as a friend. How would it feel you talk about it right now? And just pop this in the chat, share with one another. Okay. So, how would it feel if it heard how you spoke about it? And then the other thing I say is that if you are asking money to come into your life, this is like the manifesting what you desire. You want money to come into your life, you want money energy to come into your life. I'm always going to ask you, what's your foundation? Do you have the capacity to hold more zeros? But if you say, money, I want you to come into my life, or you say, let's come over and let's hang out today. Does money have a trusting relationship with you? Does it know that it's going to have fun with you? Okay. So let's say you've been in this long-term friendship, and I meet many people who have got long-term friends, but they don't really have the connection that they desire. So if you invite Money to come over for lunch or for the afternoon and it says, cool, what are we going to do today, Melody? And you go, I don't really know. Do you want to just come over and just hang out? Now, if they don't have trust or a good experience with you, then they might hesitate. They might say, oh, I don't have the time. I don't have the time today, right? Whereas you can start to create a different relationship. You can be very intentional about money and what you want to do with it. And it's one of the exercises that I give people, but I want it to land on a foundation of having capacity. Okay, don't skip to the good stuff. So, if you've got a good friend in your life, and I know some of you still want to attract good people into your life, I never thought I was going to attract new people into my life beyond my high school friends, but I have, and I still meet people along the way. I want it to get to a point where you say, hey, Money, do you want to come over and hang out this afternoon? And it says, what are we going to do? And you go, I don't know. But they're like, yep, I know that I always have a good time with you. So, what is the intention or energy that you have with this relationship? Can you rebuild trust in your people relationships with yourself, but also with money and all the other facets of life? Okay. And I also want you to reflect on all the things that you spend money on. Okay. So I used to look around and go, oh my gosh, I could have bought another horse with this money that I've spent on all these little clothes, right? Um, but now I tend to look around and go, oh, I bought that amethyst geode because of something that happened. Okay. So everything that I try and buy now, I do try and be intentional. Now, my money story and the way that I invest is I know that if I'm going to spend anything or under $1,000, I'm probably not going to do it, especially if it's self-paced, right? So yeah, I could go to the gym and I could spend a lot less money and I could do Pilates on my own, but I do not push myself to that point of discomfort and therefore growth in my physicality. I went to Pilates last night and the other day I had a one-to-one session. I was like, Bree, this is not a fun session. She's like, yep. It's not always going to be fun like this, but I need the push and I still have fun with her. That's why I go and see her. Okay, so I know that if I spend anything under $1,000, that I'm usually not going to do it. And I can rack up so many courses that I have spent a few hundred, $500 on. I cannot believe it. Like on my little journey of getting fit and wanting to lose a bit of weight for my horse next year, I just got sucked into this um, this thing that was about your divinity hormone, called irisin or something like that, that helps you melt away fat in 7 minutes. And I can't believe it. I bought it, but I'm sure I bought it to tell you this story because I've never opened it. Okay, so I would have been better. I think it was like 90, $100 by the time it converted to spend that on a one-to-one session with Brie. Okay. So reflect on all the things that you have spent money on. Okay. Do you look at it and love it, or do you look at it and regret it? Because I always want you to look back at your past and love it.